Okay, it's 7 p.m. I'm going to call the June 16th, 2026 meeting of the White Bear Lake Conservation District Board to order. We have a quorum. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're called to order. So we're on to item 3, approval of agenda. Does anybody have any adjustments that they would like to make to tonight's agenda? Would anybody like to make a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Next item is approval of the previous board meeting minutes. Does anybody have any adjustments that they would like to suggest for the May 19th, 2026 board meeting minutes? Would anyone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Public comments. So at each of our board meetings, we reserve 15 minutes for the public to make comments or discuss with the board items that are not on the agenda. Seeing that there's no one here from the public, we'll move on. New business. The first item is the Conservation District's new administrator position. Meredith?
Okay, from over 50 mostly highly qualified candidates, the hiring task force has selected Jody Savage as our new administrator. Not only is she highly qualified, but she's also passionate about White Bear Lake and the community. She's coming to us after a career path switch in order to support her young family. I know she'll do great work here, and you guys are going to love working with her. I also want to thank the hiring task force, especially Sherry, Mike, Diane, and Shelley. Welcome, Jody.
Yeah,
happy to have you.
Yeah, and I'll just reiterate the thanks to the hiring committee. That was good work done. Okay, on to the next item. Board term update. Mark Gans has been reappointed by the City of Mahtomedi for another 3-year term. Thank you, Mark, for agreeing to continue on.
Honored to serve.
Commercial Bay drone compliance check. Alan?
Yes, Board. I don't know, Sherry, did you mention the date of that photo? I don't honestly remember what day it was, but it was just no more than a couple of weeks ago. I got up at the appointed hour of 5 a.m. and went out and got pretty good shots. There were no boats on the lake at the time, so the depictions are accurate as far as I can tell. I don't know if anyone at the LUC got a chance to do the actual count, but from a drone's eye view, Commercial Bay looks as good as it ever has. So I was pretty impressed with what I saw anyway. So it should be, the information should be in your packets. And so if it wasn't clear, if you need any other shots, just let me know.
Okay, thank you for taking care of those. I think that what we'll do now is the LUC will take a look at those, and then if they see any discrepancies, report back at the July meeting. Just, you know, based on a quick glance, it looks like there are some slips that are open. So that would imply that they're below the boat counts or the slip counts that that have been approved.
Yep.
So.
No, everything, like I said, looked, you know, as they say, ship shape. I mean, everything was where they were supposed to be, and angles all look good, and it looks like there's plenty of room to navigate. So knock on wood, it'll be a good season.
Yep. Okay, thank you, Alan. And thanks again to the LUC, and I know I often say this, but for the work you did, it makes everything a lot easier down in Commercial Bay, so thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Classic and Vintage Boat Show request to use Commercial Bay docks. And just as a little bit of background, as part of Manitou Days, there's a classic and vintage boat show that occurs down in the Commercial Bay area. And in the past, they've requested permission to dock some boats temporarily at the end of some of the Commercial Bay docks. And the Commercial Bay dock owners have agreed to that. And that same request has been made this year. And so I will make a motion to approve that request to allow the organizers of that event to temporarily dock some boats on the end of the Commercial Bay docks.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
And for the record, it's this Saturday.
Thank you, and that's good. So it is this Saturday. Okay, no discussion. I'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. Strategic planning session update. Meredith.
Okay, as part of the upcoming lake management plan, we're going to have a strategic planning session. I'm going to propose tonight that we do this on the same night as our August board meeting. Sherry and I are expecting it's going to take about an hour and a half to complete. We may be starting the strategic planning session during the LUC meeting if the LUC schedule is not full. Maybe 6:15, 6:30, and then we're going to try to keep the board agenda as short as possible to then continue strategic planning after the 7 o'clock board meeting. Sherry and I plan to send out an agenda and an outline with some questions ahead of time, and I would encourage everyone to read the 1999 management plan in the meantime. What does everyone think about this, adding it onto the meeting? It'll be a longer night.
I think the August agenda is often pretty light because of the time of year. And just, does everybody have a copy of that? Did you send that out, Sherry? All right, thank you for that.
So that'll probably take you, that 1999 plan. It looks really long, but I bet you can read it in 30 minutes, maybe 40. It's a quick read, and there's a lot of addendums on there that maybe you don't need to read.
I think it's good. I'd rather have one meeting than two.
Okay, any questions for Meredith on that, Chris?
I'll have an agenda. What do we want to get out of it?
So there's going to be two, so we're not done totally planning it, but there's going to be two objectives. One is to start with a really large scope to narrow down for the lake management plan, and the other one is our organization, defining roles, purpose, and things like that, and making sure the lake management plan aligns with that.
Got it.
And just to add on just a little bit, is, the planning session, I think, is really critical for us because from that, we'll develop a scope of work, and then based on that scope of work, we'll request proposals from professional organizations to come in and assist us with the preparation of that document. So the better job we do of defining that scope through the planning session, the better document we'll end up with in the end. Okay, any further questions of Meredith?
Thank you. I'll get back to you when we know exactly what time that's going to start. It'll probably be early August. We'll know if we can start at 6:15 or 6:30.
And if for some reason there's no LUC meeting, then it's possible that that planning session could start at 6?
Correct.
Okay, we'll move on. Unfinished business, Commercial Bay survey markers, scope and sequence quote. That's me. So just in the nick of time, I sent an email to E.G. Rudd, the surveyors that did the work for us last time or previously along Commercial Bay, asking for some input. And basically that input is ways, checking to see if they have any suggestions for getting more permanent markers for the ordinary high water level along Commercial Bay there. Some input from them on how best to measure or to read the coordinates at the end of the various docks so that we know they're within the 300 feet. And then also input from them on the angle of the docks going out into the lake. And I just sent that yesterday and haven't heard back, but again, I just sent it yesterday. So hopefully we'll hear back something and have more information to report at the July meeting. Any questions on that?
it be worthwhile just to memorialize it with the owners too? Like, check if they just want to mark it themselves and agree on it?
Mark,
Well,
ordinary
like
high
if I
water.
take Tallies and Docks of White Bear.
Yeah.
Like Whitaker, they pretty much now have it dialed in each year. Is it just worth like, hey Keith, hey Mike, are you good with this and this degree in as a start?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and that's an important part of all this, is if we can get buy-in from the commercial bay dock owners, I think that goes a long way for us.
Then we have it on top. I'll see what I can try with that.
All right. Okay, any other questions on that item? Okay, moving on to reports and action items. The executive committee didn't meet this past month because so many of the members were participating in the hiring process, and that took quite a lot of time. So there's no report. Lake Quality Committee, Mike?
Lake quality, lake level today is 922.99. 922.99. That's about 3 inches lower than last month, but it's exactly the same as last year. No change. The lake temperature is 66 degrees, actually warmer than the air temperature this morning. And last month it was 58 degrees, so it's going up. It's on a natural progression. Now a lot's going to happen in the next month or so. Eurasian water milfoil treatment. We approved the survey with Steve McComas, but we haven't taken it yet. We'll have to go out and do the weed survey. We approved the applicator, lake management. I still have yet to get a permit. I pre-applied for a permit in the first of the year and received a qualifying okay based on survey and correct applicator and all that kind of stuff. So once we get the survey done, then I'll go for the permit from the DNR, the final permit from the DNR. And we have to approve the expenditure of the money for the treatment. Not knowing how many acres we'll treat, and just taking a guess that this cool weather with a lot of cloudiness and that kind of stuff has not enhanced the growth of Eurasian water milfoil. We shouldn't see a big explosion. We budgeted $32,000. So I'll make a motion that we approve the expenditure of up to $32,000 for the treatment of Eurasian water milfoil.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve those funds. Any discussion?
I would like to add, in the past years, I went back and looked at my notes, and probably the past 5 years, I've added $10,000 to that as just kind of like a safety gap, just in case. So my next motion would be that if $32,000 wasn't enough,
Okay.
I would add 10 to it.
And do you think this treatment will occur before the July meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, any discussion on that motion?
I guess one more thing is,
Yep.
the only reason it could occur after the July meeting would be if we found so little milfoil. But we would still treat though, right, as soon as we could. We want to get it done, because we don't want to treat in August, it's too late.
All right. Well, I think your next motion's going to address what I was wondering about. Okay, so we have the motion and a second on the table to approve the $32,000. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes.
Okay, now I'd like to make a provisional motion, just as an emergency type situation, that if in fact 32,000 isn't enough, that we are able to spend another 10,000, up to 10,000, for additional treatment of Eurasian water milfoil.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve up to $10,000 of additional dollars in case they become necessary for the treatment. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes.
That's it.
Okay, any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike. Lake Utilization Committee, Mark?
I've had nothing in the last month. All dock situations have been resolved. You? Nothing?
Some quiet.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Okay, any questions for Mark? All right, well, thanks for handling all that. Okay. Lake Education Committee, Meredith.
Okay, as part of Manitou Days, we are doing a summer lake cleanup next Saturday, June 27th. We have chosen Matoska Park for the board, so anyone, please join us if you can. We're going to meet at 10 a.m. at the park. If you can't join us, consider another date and time, and text or email me photos of your pickup or yourself picking up trash. I'd love them. Social media for the month, I'm going to put up something on Starry Stonewort like I do every month through the summer, lake level and temperature. I'm going to put up a reminder about our Manitou Days event. And as soon as the second Laker is published, I'm going to post that as well. That should be around July 4th. Any questions about our social media or the Manitou Days event?
And Meredith, I just wasn't paying 100% attention. Did you mention that you will post about the treatment dates?
I certainly will post about the treatment dates. Yes, thank you.
Okay, any questions for Meredith? Okay, thank you, Meredith. Treasurer's report, Mike.
Treasurer's report. It was in your packet. It came early. It wasn't sitting by your place when you got here, so you had a chance to study it over. Questions on anything? Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve North Star debit 2026-15 through NS debit 2026-19 and checks number 2586 through check number 2592.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve those expenditures. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes.
Other treasurer things, I'm working on a bid for an audit. We need to do an audit once every 5 years to comply with our bylaws and to comply with the Office of the State Auditor. I've gotten a couple bids back. They seem extremely high, so I'm going back and seeing what the Office of the State Auditor really wants and trying to whittle it down. So hopefully I'll have them ready for you next month. Next thing are some Royland buoys, and Brian Bonnen is going to tell us about that.
Okay, thanks, Mike. So at the Ordway Bar, out from the Ramsey boat launch, on your way out towards the middle of that, what do we call North Bay. For some reason this year, the buoys were dropped in, and some people are having issue with, I guess, not following the fact that a buoy says you should be careful. And a couple of sailboats folks have reached out and said these aren't marked like they were last year, and all sorts of kind of weird complaints. And then Mike put me on this committee of doing the buoys, so all of a sudden I'm hearing about it, and we're connecting on it, and like, well, that's odd, because as Mike said, or my father would have said, like, why are you going close to the buoy? Like, you should not be close to a buoy. Anyways, I think last year I saw a couple boats go through there too, and, you know, fishing boats versus pontoons versus, and there's a couple big rocks in there. And the water is kind of high, so it's odd that in a year where the water's high, we're having this issue. Anyways, long story long on that, Mike Shervodka went out and also ran into or saw this issue taking place, and so they placed some temporary buoys. And in that, he said he thought we needed 8 more buoys out there, which also was odd. So I was like, Mike, where are all the buoys? I mean, we've always had buoys on this Ordway Bar. Like, now we need 8 more? I mean, that's a lot of buoys. So we both thought we should probably order 6. And I've always thought, like, more buoys is better in that area just because there are some big rocks. And I don't know, maybe it's a service we should offer to the folks that come onto the lakes. I don't know. Again, Mike and my father might say, I don't know why we're doing this for folks. Like, pay attention or read a map. Or so anyways, he said we might need 8. I said, let's order 6 and take a look. So I'm going to go out and maybe move buoys around or place buoys in some or on some of those big rocks. We can have a conversation there with oh, what's the gentleman's name that does the docks, White Bear Dock? Chris. Weiberg, yeah. So we could talk about that at the end of the year, if this is enough or not. So the idea here is that we need, I make a motion here to approve the 1,333 and how many cents? Last page, and 82 cents for those 6 buoys.
Second?
Okay, so the motion has been seconded. So we have a motion and a second to approve the $1,333.82 expenditure for 6 new buoys. Any discussion?
Yeah, where did the orange ball buoys come from?
So those are the temporary ones placed by Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
So super kind.
They're easy to see. I mean,
Yeah, I know, and I was grateful. I guess they had extras laying around, or so that's great. But again, that's a lot of buoys. So I'm very excited, actually, to go out there and explore that little fishing area and find out what's going on.
There's 8 out there now.
Yeah, and it's kind of around. It's kind of almost like we placed them on the perimeter this time. There's always just a line, so I don't know. It's kind of
I mean,
interesting.
that's the most we've ever had is 8 out there.
I know. So maybe again, you just gave me this job, and so I'll talk to Chris after, about like where did he place them or why did they, and a couple of them are really far out. So I think the water depth there is like 10 feet. It's not even like we could move them in. They shouldn't be out so far there either, because what I've thought in the past is there's enough space between, it's like a couple close ones and then a space. And then because it's a little bit deeper, that's asking for people to go through there fast. So I don't know if what they did there. So a little bit exploration that's going to happen. So first, let's get 6 out there and see where we're at.
Meredith?
So we're going to add 6 to our 8. So we're going to have 14 out there.
Great
Yeah.
question. I don't know how many are out there. He suggested that 8 more were needed. So of everything that was out there, he said, I think you need 8 more. I don't know how many Mike put into the water.
I think there's only about 4.
Yes. So it's not 8. He's suggesting that we get 8. And I thought, let's just get 6 first. We might not need 6 either. But again, from my experience these last couple of years, I thought, even if we only need 4, let's put a couple more in there maybe and just put them closer together and let people know, like, just you shouldn't be coming close. But it's interesting because one's a neighbor friend and he has a sailboat. And he's like, got so close. It was, super dangerous and this could happen. And I was like, why do you have your sailboat so close? Like that's kind of a bad idea. That could be a serious problem. So you should sail somewhere else maybe. But I don't know.
You
Kind of
should also
interesting.
know not to go between them.
Not go to, yeah. So kind of interesting. Meredith?
So the new buoys you ordered, are those the same white buoys that are out there? Or are they shallow water, ones that say shallow water on them? Or
5-inch hazard warning, shallow area.
Yeah,
That's what it says on the
Okay.
invoice.
That's on the invoice. All the others out there, Meredith, I'm not sure what they say. They could
They
have
say nothing.
They could have something on them over the years. I'm not sure all that's on there. There's different buoy markings. We went with shallow on these
Okay.
ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
they say shallow water.
And the plan is to remove the red balls that are out there.
I believe so.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it seems to me that when you're putting the buoys out, they should be on the wall at the most shallow spot instead of one side or the other.
Yeah, 100 feet, you're supposed to be
Yeah.
100 feet from that.
Yes.
But again, like get close, take a look. I don't know. So there are some deep areas in there, and I know some fishermen have figured out they can go where they can go. That's what ends up happening, I'm guessing, most of the time, is that you can find the line, and then those bass boats fly through there at 50 miles an hour, and people on the lake are like, oh, so you can go through there. And the answer is no, you can't, because you got an inboard, outboard, and a lot of people in the boat. That's not good.
So the idea is if we tighten up the buoys a little bit, then hopefully that prevents some of that.
Yeah, a couple
Yeah,
extra,
attention
then it's really, at your risk. If you're going to go through there, I mean, we can't.
And nobody's hit anything yet that I know of. Or have they?
I know of at least 3.
Oh,
Props wrecked, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
They're all
props.
friends of yours. No, I'm so sorry.
No, I've seen it before, and what I see happen is people will drop their boat, and I don't think they're used to White Bear Lake. And as soon as they come off the Ramsey ramp, they just shoot straight out to the middle of the lake and take out the lower unit. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
3 this year, huh? Then I guess there's a problem.
Water's up, so it's kind of interesting. And maybe that makes it worse, but.
Okay, well, thanks for handling that, Brian. And any questions for Brian on the buoy situation? Okay, thank you, Brian.
Just real quick, though, do I need a second motion on?
Vote on that?
Oh, did we not vote? Okay, that was discussion, okay.
We just, yeah, first and
Perfect. Okay,
second.
so we have a motion and a second. We've had some discussion. Thank you. So I'm going to call the vote on the approval of the expenditure. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, so that passes. Okay, thank you, Brian.
I also had to buy some chain and maybe make a couple of anchors, so I believe reimbursement, should I,
Up on the treasurer's report.
and we'll approve it next time around?
Yeah.
Okay. Just looking for approval for something I already did. Is that okay? We do need chains and an anchor to them.
Brian?
How many buoys do we have out there? We might have 14 or 28 or,
Brian,
So-
can you scan those receipts to me, and then I'll
Okay.
get a check to you?
thank you, yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, any questions for Mike? Okay, thank you, Mike. We're on to item 10, the board council report.
Yeah, hi, Chair and Board. Obviously, we talked about Commercial Bay, and just FYI, the buoy issue basically was presented by our Water Patrol Sergeant, who contacted me because of someone losing a lower unit, basically, and complained to the sheriff about marking, and so that's what started us down that path. So hopefully we don't get any more reports like that. Unfortunately, I do have to report that we've had our first BWI on the lake this last month, and so this is a cautionary tale to everybody. If you buy a new pontoon and you decide to drink and boat, you should register your pontoon. So that would be an unforced error, of course, to get pulled over for no Reggie on the side of the boat, and unfortunately the hijinks ensue from there. So haven't seen them in court yet, but that's not a great start to the season from a law enforcement standpoint, but it proves that they're out there and keeping us all safe. So I'll just leave it at that. Did call the conservation officer. There's been nothing but sort of the usual checks for fishing licenses and that sort of thing. So I'd stand for any questions.
Okay, any questions for Alan?
I do have one, and we can probably talk more about it later, but I'm getting more input about rentals again on jet skis. And I've said, file a formal complaint, but that stuff's going to be coming.
Okay.
Where I think the sheriff was involved in one incident, and then there's been some follow-ups. I think they've pushed back to us, I think, in the end, for a lot of it.
All right. Well, when they come up, obviously we'll discuss it at LUC and make a recommendation. So if it means tweaking some laws, I don't know where White Bear Lake ended up with their local ordinances because they consider it basically peddling, right? You show up in a neighborhood and you put something out for sale or rent. So I don't know if they've cracked down or not, but not that you know of.
I think both sides, the city and the sheriff, pointed to us, and that's what I heard.
Yeah, well, the craft might have to be, placarded by this group, but, the actual transaction happens in these parking lots or else online. Someone was saying that this is something you can go on Facebook and get, something like that. So I don't know, I don't do any of that stuff, so I don't know how that's consummated. I don't think it's a club model, because of course we do have Your Boat Club folks that are doing it legit, out of Commercial Bay. But anyway, we'll just monitor the situation and intervene where we have to.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything, so the sheriff hasn't reached out to me with any citations or any requests for any complaints yet, so.
Yeah, I think we'll have something next meeting. I told them to gather up your data, do a formal complaint.
Okay.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, and if it's going to help, I can have Mike come in and tell us what they're seeing, so he doesn't mind making a presence.
Any additional questions for Alan?
No.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Okay, so we've reached the portion of the meeting for announcements, and Sherry, do you have any announcements?
I just want to say welcome again to Jody. I'm glad that she's coming on board, and our next board meeting will be on Tuesday, July 21st, and Jody will be in this seat.
Okay, thank you. And I just have one announcement. Sherry, if you wouldn't mind coming up here. Yeah. You were a little organized. See, this is what happens when you leave. So I just want to say briefly, thank you for all the work you've done on behalf of the board. It's not an easy job. Sometimes you can close yours just for a minute. Dealing with the public and dealing with the board members. But you've done so much to help the board move forward and, make our processes so much more efficient. And I think we're a much better board because of you. Yep. And so thank you for that. And as a token of, a small token of our appreciation, Mike has something for you here.
Sherry, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You can open it now if you want.
Oh, okay.
Sit in the chair.
It is.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I just want to say it's been a pleasure and an honor to serve with the White Bear Lake Conservation District. It has been really fun to get to know everybody. You're a great group, and I know Jody's going to enjoy working with you as well. Oh, that's sweet. I have to make sure there's nothing else. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I will miss you. There we go. Hopefully it will stick.
Okay, so with all that to do completed, we're at the last item. Would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that passes. We're adjourned. And please stick around. There's going to be some cake and some whatnot. And wish Sherry happy second retirement. And thanks, everybody, for coming out.